So I started posting new videos around January of the start of this year, just with the intention of sharing about my new G85 and my progress as a filmmaker or soon to be filmmaker. And since then we hit 1,000 subscribers on June 4th of 2019, if you're watching this at a later time, which is really awesome because I had a silent goal of by the end of the year that I didn't really want to share and bug people with, but it was really great to see that halfway through the year we were able to make it to 1,000. Now, if you noticed, as I started posting consistently at the start of the year, I never asked for subscribers. There were a couple videos at the beginning where I did, but I decided to completely ditch that because I personally would rather have subscribers who subscribe because they watch the content, they like it, and they want to follow along on my filmmaking progression, rather than a bunch of frivolous subscribers that really don't care about my content and just subscribe because I told them to. So I'd rather have a few quality subscribers than a lot of just quantity subscribers, if that makes any sense. And for now, I'm gonna keep that going. I'm not gonna ask for subscribers or likes or anything like that. I'm just gonna keep continuing on the route that I'm going. But as for the future of this channel, there are 3 things I really do want to pursue and just clarify with you all as we move forward. First thing we're gonna do is kind of a negative affirmation. We are not going to be turning on ads once I hit that 4,000 hour per year limit. My reasoning behind this is, well, 1, it's not gonna really make any money, and 2, ads are the most annoying thing. And now that pre-roll ads have almost doubled, that I've noticed, you have the 5-second pre-roll ad, and then you also have a second pre-roll ad, and I really don't want to have those before my video, especially when I can't control what kind of advertisement that they're showing you. So I'm choosing not to, mostly because of my personal principles of I don't want you to see an ad in front of my content that I don't personally agree with. And it's just really annoying anyway, so there's that. And shameless plug, if you are interested in supporting the channel, there are all the links below to my Amazon affiliate links, all products that I use and I enjoy. If you notice, I've taken some off there because I stopped using them. But if you use those links to buy really anything, those items, any other items on Amazon, it will send a small kickback commission over to me, like 2 or 3% depending on the item, at no extra charge for you. So it's kind of a win-win for both of us. You're buying something already, I get a little sales commission. So if that's something you're interested in doing, go ahead and use those links below. Now, one thing I would consider doing are reviewing products that companies might send me, or sharing about a service that I might appreciate or agree with or use. But everything that I would do when it comes to ads or products or that kind of thing, I would fully disclose to you at the start of the video with full disclosure of what the agreement is, because I really would want everyone to know exactly what was going down and why. Now, another thing I'm brainstorming when it comes to revenue for the channel, along with the affiliate links and maybe some companies reaching out in the future, is Patreon. Now, like I said, I'm still brainstorming this idea, but I've contemplating putting like maybe a monthly different tiers on Patreon to be able to give you all an opportunity to support what I'm doing. But my only drawback to that is I really would want to provide quality content over there. And at this point in time, I really don't think I have the time to create separate content for Patreon. And I really would have a hard time, throttling my content and only sharing the good stuff over on Patreon, because I don't really like it when people do that, but I just would have a really hard time asking for $4, $6, $10 a month from somebody when I really don't have that much value to offer to somebody. The only value I could really offer is no ads on my channel and just sharing some of my progress as a filmmaker, which could be helpful to some people. So if you're interested in supporting Patreon in the future, let me know if that's something you would do. It's still in the works, so not really sure about that one. Now, that was a little long-winded, but the second thing I'm gonna be continuing to do on this channel are Panasonic G85 videos and lens videos. So I've really enjoyed making videos around the G85 because that was something that I felt was underserved when I purchased it, so I decided to just make them myself. And as long as the camera's still relevant to myself and others, I'll continue to make videos around the G85. One thing that might rub people a little bit the wrong way is that as I continue my progression as a filmmaker or soon to be filmmaker, is that I'll be investing in more professional gear. I've mentioned in the past the Panasonic G85 I'll be investing in probably by the end of the year. That would also mean that the G85 will become more and more obsolete. Maybe not obsolete in the technical sense, but for me, I'll probably more so gravitate toward the G85 with professional work and YouTube and that kind of thing, and the G85 will end up as almost like a B or C cam to my GH4. But for the near future, I'll definitely keep still using my G85 and I'll keep making videos around the G85, but I just want to let you know there's no guarantee that I'll keep this camera forever or really any gear that I share, because as you know, camera bodies drop in value so quickly and they become outdated-ish very quickly as well. But for now, you have nothing to worry about. The G85 is still a great camera. I imagine it will be for another year or two, but just want to give you a heads up as I continue my filmmaking progression. Now, when it comes to lenses, this is something that I really enjoy and I don't foresee changing anytime soon on the channel. Me going out at a particular pretty time of the day and shooting really nice sample footage for you to see what a certain lens and body combination is capable of, more focused on what the lens can do. Now, the reason I'm going to continue to do this is because lenses age significantly better than camera bodies, so a lens video is going to be more relevant for the next few years versus a camera body video, which is relevant for maybe a year or two, and then on the tail end for some of the budget consumers afterwards. So while I haven't been doing technical reviews of lenses about sharpness and that kind of thing, sharing sample footage has been a really fun thing for me to do, and it also sharpens my ability to compose shots, to learn how to use my camera better, to learn a little bit more about color grading, and really learning how to cut footage a lot better. And I will say, as you've seen before, my first wedding that I shot, it was on the GH4 and the Sigma 30 1.4. The 20 some odd videos I made before on YouTube actually really did help me in the cutting and editing process for the wedding when it came to just the general culling down the footage and the coloring afterwards. So YouTube has significantly helped in my ability to be able to work through footage really efficiently and create videos faster. And also, as you've seen, around once or twice a month, I've been sharing my progress as a filmmaker and how I'm growing as a filmmaker as well. From the beginning of the year when I was talking about second shooting some weddings with a film company, and then also my solo wedding that I got for April, sharing all of that progress and what's been going through my mind and how it went is something that I really am passionate about sharing with everyone else, because I really don't know of a lot of people who are sharing like this nitty-gritty part of filmmaking, or at least the beginning of a filmmaking career. I know someone like Scott McKenna began vlogging about his business when he was in day one of the production. He shared a little bit before that, but I really want to get into even the nitty-gritty before I go full-time into filmmaking, because psych, I'm not a full-time filmmaker. I make YouTube videos, I have a normal job just like most people, and I'm just passionate about filmmaking and growing a filmmaking business. So I don't want to be just another one of those YouTube filmmakers who become filmmakers by saying how to become a YouTube filmmaker on YouTube. Kind of reminds me of a multi-level marketing scheme if I've ever heard of one. Shots fired. Masking is so fun. So essentially, I don't want to call myself a filmmaker without having films outside of YouTube to show for it. Now, there's a lot of nuance to this conversation, and there are a lot of different perspectives on this, but that's just my personal take for me. So I just want to keep sharing the most recent projects I'm working on, my progress as I grow toward a full-time filmmaking career, and some of the things I'm learning and figuring out along the way. Now, I have no interest in making this channel my full-time income or even my career at this point in life. I was watching a talk by Levi Allen at Craft and Commerce. I think it was a couple years ago with Caleb Wojcik, but Levi was sharing that he thinks that obviously vlogging isn't really the best way to start a channel and grow a channel. It's actually providing value for other people. Instead of vlogging and showing random parts of your life, really work hard to create value around what you're doing. So for me, as someone who's pursuing filmmaking, instead of teaching people how to become a full-time filmmaker and all of that thing when I really can't speak to that, I can at least show people how I am personally pursuing that career field and what I'm learning along the way. And he was saying in that lecture that that's really a better perspective to have, because people see through BS really quickly. And if you're telling people that, you know, I'm doing this filmmaking thing and I'm a filmmaker and all this stuff, when really you don't have much to show for it, then people are going to find out pretty quickly. And so just being honest about where you are in your, you know, buzzword journey, give people something that they can follow along that you're already doing, and just bring them along with you. That was essentially the gist of his message, but I'll leave that link to the Craft and Commerce talk by Levi Allen below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and as usual, we'll see you all next week with a critique of my wedding. I'm gonna shred my work apart, which sounds like a bad idea, but should be interesting. Stay tuned for that. See you next week.